Good morning, everybody. My name's David Smith. I'm Head of Product Solutions for the IET, and we had a packed session for you on social media and how a new generation is changing research communication. It's become even more packed now, so we shall see how we go. What I'm going to say is I'm going to give some very quick introductions, because actually in your packs the bios are available there for you to take a look at. Or you can use the app if anybody's downloaded the app at the end of the day. Like I say, we've got four great speakers to get through, so they're all on a time, and I'm going to be merciless in keeping them to it. One of the interesting things is that right at the end we've got Erin McKieran, who is coming in via the interweb nets. So at that point I'd like to invite you to take a moment of silence and contemplation and not use Twitter or email or anything else. Focus fully on the video streaming talk that will be coming in at that time, because we're not worried at all about the bandwidth. So anyway, before we start, Cedric is going to come up first with the Dance Your PhD, and I just want to say one thing, okay. Where are we? Cedric did his DPhil and first postdoctoral position at the University of Oxford, studying the exciting sex lives of the red jungle fowl and the fruit fly. Best first line of a bio ever. I've no idea where we go from there, but Cedric, over to you, sir.
Hi, good morning. It's lovely to see so many of you here today. I would like to share with you some of my experiences in using the arts to communicate science, and how the elements that I use could potentially be applicable to the important work that publishers do to communicate science. No, I will not be dancing for you today, but there'll be quite a bit of sex in my presentation. Yes, I did my PhD in 2009 on the exciting sex life of the fruit fly and the red jungle fowl. I was particularly interested in how sibling relationships affect sexual dynamics in a group. For example, whether siblings brothers would gang up with each other against an unrelated male. I went on then to continue with a one-year postdoctoral research on how the female red jungle fowl can select sperm in her reproductive tract using her immune system. Here we see a microphage which typically eats bacteria, engulfing the sperm of the male red jungle fowl. So while doing all this research, I was actually very interested in doing outreach and communicating the science that we researchers do. I first created my video in 2010 on smell-mediated response to relatedness in the fruit fly. We submitted this to Dance Your PhD by Science in 2010 and won the biology category during that year. The next year, I created this video about socializing with less attractive friends. So the idea here is that if you're the less attractive male in the group, you should find even less attractive friends to increase your relative mating success. So this video won the 2012 Evolution Video Contest by National Evolutionary Synthesis Center. And just last year, I gathered a group of sporty-looking men to create this video on sperm competition between related males in the red jungle fowl, which we will have the chance to watch later. And now, you must be wondering what I do. I wish I could say I'm a full-time celebrity, but I think I got a better deal. I work now for the Wildlife Conservation Research Unit. Their objective is to achieve practical solutions to conservation problems through original scientific research. My role there encompasses three entities: the outreach, research, and education. And for research, I'm particularly interested in the ecology of the clouded leopard. In fact, just 48 hours ago, I was in the warm tropical rainforest of Malaysia, climbing up hills and sliding down the slopes in order to deploy the camera traps. So if you ever want a place with no Wi-Fi, no signal, just come with me to the forest. For education, I use innovative methods with games and role plays in the classroom. And here are examples of some of my stuff that I do. Run Panther Run, a board game to teach statistical analysis to undergraduates. Here, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, one which teaches sperm competition and female choice, where undergraduates have to perform as male rate jungle to invest sperm in females that appear with different status like virgin versus non-virgin. And the most recent one, Cash Commons and Conservation, where students have to take the role of the government, the villager, the conservation biologist, or even the city dwellers to play against each other by each other's favors in order to manage a forest. And for outreach, I use mainly the arts, like musical, song, drama, film, to portray the science and also create awareness about the most recent issues in conservation. So do look out for my next video, which is on same-sex behavior. So speaking about science communication, we know that there is an exponential increase in publications over the past years. And with that, we become increasingly specialized in our respective fields, yet there's more collaborations and more multidisciplinary projects. So it seems a task for us researchers to keep up with the rapid advances in science. So how can publishers help in facilitating this process? Well, I take examples from everyday life. Here, a poster encouraging to save water, and another poster advertising a film on a recent film on the black swan. So what do these two posters have in common? Well, they make use of one or more elements of the three elements that I too use in the work that I do. That is to sell the idea, to engage the audience, and to expand the idea beyond what is being portrayed. First up, selling the appeal. Well, what we need is a focus that will enable the audience to be entertained and not multiple ideas that will distract the audience. Originality, both in its delivery and its content. So how is this research article different from other research papers, even if it's a repeated study? And third, more visuals and fewer words. This is what I would advocate in the method sections, for example, flow charts and pictures to illustrate methodology. And in the second element, to engage and reinforce, we want the audience to read the article throughout the process and to retain their attention throughout the process. So how can we do this? Well, humor is an important tool that will help the audience retain attention. Laughter also triggers adrenaline that will enable long-term retention of information. I'm not saying that journal articles should all be funny, but we could incorporate comic strips to illustrate the idea of the research papers. Repetition, repeating the idea from the start to the end, enables the audience to keep track and remember what the main idea of the paper is. And different people also learn via different senses. By appealing to the different senses, we are able to cater to a wider range of audience. And so we could incorporate podcasts, video links to the respective research papers. So here are examples, results of some of the data that I've collected from questionnaires administered to my students. Here, a score of 3 would mean that there's no difference from that of a normal lessons. As you can see, my students rated those lessons as having higher attractive visuals. They learn through tactile means more, and there's an increased level of humor. All this translates to different and many benefits, 3 of which I illustrate here. Stimulates the students' interest in learning after the lesson, retains their attention throughout the lesson, and increase memory of the content for the lesson, of the content of the lesson. And the third element, expanding beyond what's being portrayed in the content itself. We should encourage authors to mention about the broader implications of their research, as well as relating on a personal level. And a good way is to storytell. For example, when you watch an award-winning movie, we often have a focal character in which we could follow and sympathize and feel for the character. So this is what you guys have been waiting for. Let me just try to click on this. Ooh. Sorry, I wasn't too sure how it's going to work.
If I was a peacock, to only you I'd show my tail. And if we were ponies in the New Forest, I'd nibble at your mane. Animal love, we're just animals love. You're a sexual safari and I just can't get enough of your animal love. So let me hear you say that I can trek through your jungle of fun all night and day. Oh, 'cause I can think of a better place to waste my time away. She told me that she liked Black Sabbath, so grew my hair and bought a leather jacket. Lost 20 IQ points, headbanging drunk. But she'd already moved on. She don't stick around for long. Next time we met, she was old school punk. So I shaved a mohawk, got a nose piercing, a tattoo of London calling. I'm gonna be the Sid to her Nancy. Oh, will she ever make up her mind now? Always one step behind, trying to keep up with that rocker girl. She's no longer around. I hear she spends nights in the Ministry of Sound. You won't see her fighting in the mosh pit anymore, since she found pills and house and trance on the dance floor. No, she'll never make up her mind, 'cause she's just a scenester kind of girl who never cared for melody. No, she's gone, but that's just fine. You don't like guitar, you're no friend of mine. I'm gonna be the man I'm meant to be, because scenester girls are not for me. She told me that she liked Black Sabbath, so grew my hair and bought a leather jacket. Lost 20 IQ points, headbanging drunk. But she'd
Yeah, now.
already moved
One,
on.
two,
She don't
three,
stick
jump,
around
jump
for
down.
long. Next time we met, she was old school punk. So I shaved a mohawk, got a nose piercing, a tattoo of London calling. I'm gonna be the Sid to her Nancy.
Okay, step back to presentation. So now you probably understand why guys like to chase after balls, right? So with that, I would like to reiterate the ideas. Well, for an award-winning science communication platform, we should sell the idea to enrich the audience and to expand the idea beyond. So in other words, sex sells. Thank you very much.